Welcome back to the show. How about this for breaking news? Ripple just bought a company for $1.25 billion, and it's going to settle $3 trillion every year on the XRP ledger. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. You can follow us on X, YouTube, and digperspectives.com for exclusive content. Oh my goodness, have we got great news for you. You better get your ticket to XRP Las Vegas if you want to hear Brad Garlinghouse talking about the $3 trillion that's about to be cleared every year without fail on the XRP ledger. Come on in.
XRP community, the SEC versus Ripple case is over. Now the path is clear, and the celebration at XRP Las Vegas 2025 just went 10x. And you need to be there May 30th and 31st at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. Hear from White House Crypto Council members on stage, including Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Giancarlo. You'll also hear from Dr. Christopher Brummer from Blueprint. And one lucky builder developer will win a $25,000 prize for the best Web3 project idea. Go to the EZA app to register for your chance to win $25K. The excitement is building for XRP Las Vegas 2025, the world's largest XRP conference. Get your tickets now and lock in.
No doubt about it. And by the way, it won't be one lucky winner that wins the $25,000. We're going to break that up so we have multiple winners. That's what we're looking to do, is to get as much money into the hands of the builders as possible. Yes, let's get started here. Oh, you're going to love this. First of all, breaking news, attorney James Murphy is suing Department of Homeland Security. We are so fortunate to have attorneys like James Murphy, John Deaton, and Jeremy Hogan, who's now stepped back, and out in the world fighting for all of us to help us make our way through this space. This is not a maxi move. This is about complete clarity for all investors. Thank you, James. He's suing the Department of Homeland Security in a bid to unmask Satoshi Nakamoto. We all know about the video. Now we need Department of Homeland Security to step forward. This is clarity that everyone deserves to have. There is no immaculate conception of Bitcoin. Right here, BlackRock CEO Larry Fink says he isn't ruling out another 20% decline in the market, but views it as a buying opportunity. I don't need to play this for you, even though it's a great clip. We have a lot to go over today, like the new company that Ripple just bought. Hang with me, we're going to get there. But we could see another 20% decline in the market. Remember, all of this triggered by what? Tariffs. And everybody in the world that doesn't like President Trump is saying he's not smart, he's making mistakes, he's ruining the country, all of this stuff. It is the equivalent of listening to a overweight, out of shape person go to the gym, work out for one day, wake up the next day sore, and then swear that none of it works and why should I ever go again? The weakness in people today to not understand a temporary pain for a long-term gain, I find really comes largely from the instant gratification our society has gotten so accustomed to through smartphones, social media, search engines. Everything is instant, 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 right? And now it's put a lot of people, I believe, in a mindset where they can't understand what a long game even means, or to have temporary sacrifice and temporary pain for a long-term satisfaction. It's pretty remarkable. But nonetheless, that is where we are. And all of these things are tied. Short-term pain for a long-term gain. Tariffs are working. $2.85 trillion wiped out of the U.S. stock market today. What could this trigger? Well, yesterday we saw a meeting with the Federal Reserve, and they may come in and cut rates. Well, isn't that interesting? Because as President Trump is bleeding the top 10% that are losing the most money right now, It's forcing the Fed to think about cutting interest rates. And when they cut interest rates, that'll put Trump in a position to refinance the debt of this country at a lower rate. See, this is the kind of stuff that people aren't really thinking through. Markets come back. You haven't lost anything if you haven't sold it. Now, China is trying to play hardball, and China says it will not bow to President Trump's new tariff threats. He threatened to put another 50% on top of what's already in place if China doesn't negotiate or remove the tariffs. China tagged President Trump on X yesterday with no context at Real Donald Trump. And I said, sound like China trying to get up in Trump's DMs. Maybe China wants to make a deal. This is their way of trying to get his attention here. Like, hey, I don't want to say I want to make a deal, but let's make a deal. Here's what China knows. They know about the book Art of War by Sun Tzu. And if you don't, you should entertain yourself. They have parts in that book where one part in that book it says, at times you need to appear to be weak when you're in fact strong. And in this case, I think China is exercising the opposite when it says in the book, when you are weak, appear strong. China is in a deep recession right now, and they're trying to appear very strong. But the reality is President Trump knows that they are very weak. The tariffs are working. Hang in there. They will break. Their recession, they are not strong enough monetarily or economically to withstand this moment. China's stock market suffers worst single-day crash since 2008. Tariffs are working. Again, they do not have the depth of capital markets the way the United States does to suffer us. They do not. And neither does Israel, as he just went to the White House and said, we will eliminate the trade deficit with the United States. Tariffs are working. All of this is, look, why am I showing you stuff about tariffs when we're into crypto? Because supply trade. That's why. XDC, XRP, XLM, they can all work very well in helping to ease the friction in supply trade. Then there's this. This is more than just a domino effect of market crashes from tariffs. This is a global reset. It's just that it's President Trump's global reset and not the World Economic Forum reset where you don't own a home anymore and they got you eating crickets. It's not a joke. That's a very real thing. Or how about 15-minute cities? Yeah, I'll take Trump's reset any day over top of the World Economic Forum. You can bet your ass on that one. I tell you, we know that these countries are in pain, but it's deliberate to bring them back to the table. Because these tariffs, I believe, just as DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, is scanning for waste, abuse, and fraud because we're about to see the modernization of government payment rails. That executive order was signed by President Trump. We're seeing the tariffs do the same thing. They are to bring manufacturing back. They are to bring countries to the table to renegotiate because we can't sustain these deals. But it is also to get these things done and a new restructuring of these deals before what? Before we tokenize the world and move it on to immutable blockchain ledgers. That's what. That's why this is a global reset. But it's at the tune of President Trump's points, not World Economic Forum. And this is what we've seen in the market bleed off, but yet here's what we see in the crypto space, especially with projects with utility. And then we know a new golden age of global trade is going to need a new golden age of cross-border payments. Yes, it is. And clearing and settlement, isn't it? Yes, it is. And what did they say about stable coins?
And we are going to put a lot of thought into the stablecoin regime. And as President Trump has directed, we are going to keep the U.S. the dominant reserve currency in the world, and we will use stablecoins to do that. Thank you.
There's no question about it, and it is a nice applause that he got for saying that. because stable coins are the thing they're going to roll in right after these tariffs are winding down. They get all these new deals restructured. Then everybody's going to be put on a new blockchain payment rails, and they'll be using digital dollars and CBDCs and stable coins and NFTs and tokenized stocks and the rest of it. And that's why all of this is being done to begin with. Not to mention the SEC is dealing with the fork in America's financial future, from globalization to sovereignty. And in this report, shout out to Bank XRP for this. He's so amazing. What an OG. It breaks down the de-dollarization that other countries are looking to do, right? CBDC revolution. 130 countries representing more than 98% of the global GDP are actively researching developing CBDCs. We know China's digital yuan's out there. All of this report by the SEC is about saving the dollar from de-dollarization. It goes through here and talks about systemic failures in current financial architecture. Systemic failures in current financial architecture. You know the XRP ledger could solve that problem, right? Yes, you do. Of course you do. Then it goes into the crisis response limitations. It deals with all of these things. It goes into here and talks about BRICS, multi-layered infrastructures. This report it's so incredible. Atomic settlement, blockchain. All of this is right there, ladies and gentlemen. And what is it about? It's about protecting the US dollar by using new market infrastructures. That's what this is about. And it goes in here and talks about BRICS coalition, the alternative payment systems that could cause more de-dollarization, right? De-dollarization challenge, 75 years. We've had the power of the exorbitant privilege of the world reserve currency for the US dollar. It sounds like one of my videos. This is the SEC. Are you kidding me? Yeah. You know who else talked about systemic shock? Brianna Madigan when she worked at Ripple. Don't believe me? Take a listen.
Whether it's exchanges or OTC desks or what have you. And the last key attribute of a healthy liquid market is really resilience. And that is getting at the ability for a market to recover from a significant systemic event. So,
from a significant systemic event. Wow. We almost got a scenario like that happening now with the markets collapsing around. Some countries don't want to work with the tariffs and restructuring.
if there was some sort of a market shock, the ability for order books to get back to normality and tighten back to similar prices to where they were prior to that event relatively quickly.
Oh boy. And then Ripple put this out yesterday. By 2023, we're going to go from $500 billion, better than $500 billion, in tokenized, real world tokenized assets to 19 trillion in tokenization. And I'm thinking, wow, that is a heck of a pace. We are going to see quite a bit of adoption and tokenization of real world assets in a short period of time here. Well, then Ripple today announced this. You're going to lose your mind in the best way possible. Ripple announced it is acquiring Hidden Road for $1.25 billion, becoming the first crypto company to own and operate a global multi-asset prime broker. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Together, Ripple and Hidden Road are bringing together the promises of digital assets to the institutional customers at scale, bridging traditional finance and decentralized finance in a way never seen before. Well, let's go ahead and hear the way Brad Garlinghouse says it. But before we do, I want to let you know that that's $3 trillion that Hidden Road does every year, and it's going to be on the XRP Ledger, and Brad Garlinghouse is about to tell you. How's your fancy little coin doing? Oh, we're doing $3 trillion worth of good, and we're just getting started. Lock in. Brad Garlinghouse says this. Today, Ripple announced the acquisition of Hidden Road for $1.25 billion. One of the largest deals ever in the crypto space, but the price tag isn't what's most important. It's that this deal marks a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for crypto to access the largest and most trusted traditional markets and vice versa. Prime brokers, along with other key functions historically managed by banks for the most part, like Hidden Road, have proven themselves as the trusted intermediary for the largest hedge funds, market makers, OTC desks, quant traders, and more. Listen to this part very closely. Ripple has been a customer of Hidden Road for years, and we know their breadth of expertise firsthand, clearing $3 trillion annually for 300 plus of the top financial institutions globally. You have been right. You have been always been right. You are on top of this thing. You are really one of those people. I'm speaking to you in the audience now. You have been one of those people in the world of a very small percentage that is held on, that has fought through. You are one of the smartest people in your family, and you need to shove it up their ass at Thanksgiving, like I'm going to. This is the capital. This is the capital, and I'm playing hug everyone at Thanksgiving, but tease them a little, you know. This is the capital and activity that will tap into XRP and the XRP ledger's bread and butter: instant, efficient, scalable, and low-cost movement of value. Instead of waiting for 24 hours to settle trades through fiat rails, listen to this: Hidden Road will be using XRP Ledger for clearing a portion of trades, and most consequentially, using real USD as collateral across its prime brokerage services, including cross-asset, crypto, and traditional instrument trades. With this deal and the backing of Ripple's significant balance sheet, Hidden Road will exponentially expand its capacity to serve its pipeline and become the largest non-bank prime broker globally. Ripple and Hidden Road combined are a generational leap forward, ready to truly bring the worlds of traditional and decentralized finance together. Come on in. I'm going to tell you something. It's not financial advice from me or anyone else, but I'm going to buy as much XRP as I possibly can. And when I get the rest of it, I won't be selling. This is fantastic news. Truthfully, this is why we do all of this. This is why we're here. The fact that I'm reading this and it confirms that we are all going to win together in the future as this all unfolds and takes shape feels so amazing to me, because I don't like winning things by myself. I don't like doing things by myself. I am a collaborative spirit. And together, collaboratively, cooperatively, we have worked together to get ourselves to this realized place. And oh my goodness, legislation's still not passed. What is still to come that we don't even know about yet? I'll catch all of you on the next one.